portion of the king's meat. So even though we live in this society, the king's meat, the wine, all the philosophies, we're gonna come across them. But we have to propose in our heart, which is our mind, you know, that we're not gonna go indulge in those things.
We're at the table, we can't eat that stuff.
Yeah,
Sitting at the table, we can't eat that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great balance of an alkaline diet. Okay, great balance. You notice what I said? A great balance of an alkaline diet. A COVID can't survive in an alkaline diet, and that's what the brothers are talking about spiritually, right? And literally, right? And you continue to read in the book that bears his name. He talks about the pulse diet, right? Hey, and it's spiritual first and foremost, and then literal. Right? Because what reflects the spiritual, I'm sorry, the spiritual reflects the literal. I should say the literal, yeah, physical. Yeah. All right? So, you know, we knew from day one that this COVID thing that has been perpetrated, right? In this system that is set up by this system, hey, that Yahweh Shem Yeshai appoint, right? He says, hey, this is what I'm going to do over here with these wicked people. You can either follow it or you can come over to, or you can stay, excuse me, where I brought you to, because I'm the one that delivered you. So yeah, alkalinic diet, right? No acid is going to survive in there, and you can't bring them together. It's not your job to bring them together, like these devils down here. You like to bring stuff together, good and evil together, right? Hey, we eat from the tree of life. At least we believe that by faith. You don't mess with us.
Yeah, I'll get to the pulse part. It says, with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank, therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now the Most High had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And that's another thing too.
Eunuch?
You're going to gain favor in the sight of the Lord, and He's going to put certain spirits on individuals that you come across with in your daily life, right? So they can treat you right, so they won't entice you to go into the wrong path. You know, you have people like that the Lord's going to put in your path, and that's because you're serving Him, right? So it could be like at your job, maybe your boss may be lenient with you not shaving your beard off. You know, that's just one aspect of it. Right? Even though you're supposed to, by the law, you're supposed to keep a beard on your face, but your job may require you not to have one. So the Lord, He may put a spirit on your boss for you to keep one, right? Things like that. Okay. And it says, and the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse, liking them the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. So that's you going into the pulse.
That's the spiritual diet. That is also literal. That will give us the balance, right? That will give us the balance, because at the end, in the beginning of the day, there's a defiled diet down here, but there's an undefiled diet, right, which is represented by the pulse there when you really go into it. Hey, you know what pulse is, brother? You know what pulse is? Yeah, right? Like it's just a term for alkalinic foods, but can you give me an example? Anybody? What a simple pulse. If I tell you. If you're here, might curl or go straight.
Like the pulse, like a heart pulse?
No. Pulse is a food. It's a food that represents spiritual food. But I was asking if anybody here knows what a pulse. If I would say, go get me some pulse.
Oh.
Right? You know what it is, but
food that alkalines you.
I like alkaline food that you eat every day.
The literal sense.
Yeah, literal sense.
It's like dates. Figs,
sea moss.
Apricots.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. What if I tell you? Okay.
I see now.
Okay.
I see.
All right. A simple pulse. He mentioned it in its mature state, like they dry it out, But you're supposed to have a balance of that also when it's raw. That's the point. That's the point. So if you go to a alfalfa sprouts, when it's sprouting, that sprout becomes dry. You can dry that seed. Right? Because it starts from, you know, but what I'm saying, the alfalfa, you can cut it and eat it, and you can also dry it. So those same grains that you mentioned, right? Okay, is very important, right? So it's like going back to the term wheat real quick. You got what you got? Yeah? Okay, no, I was just explaining about wheat real quick, right? So wheat is just a term that is used for the grains. It just means grains. But you can't tell me what the top grain is. Not yet. It's in the scriptures. But read what you got.
I got the word.
No? It's okay.
This is Sirach, chapter 18, verse. I'll start at verse 8. It says, "What is man, and whereto serveth he? What is his good, and what is his evil? The number of a man's days at the most are 100 years. As a drop of water onto the sea, and a gravel stone in comparison of the sand, so are 1,000 years to the days of eternity. Therefore is Yahweh patient with them, and poureth forth his mercy upon them. He saw and perceived their end to be evil, therefore he multiplied his compassions. The mercy of man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of Yahweh is upon all flesh." And that's why, you know, make sure not to be jealous of any other man and what they have and what they're doing. The Most High has mercy on all flesh. All flesh, right? So every person has their own lot and has their own story with the Most High. Coveting that will just be setting yourself up for judgment. You don't know what's going on between them two. You don't know how they got that. They might have got it with dirty money, wicked money, or they might have got it with clean money. Who knows, right? That's why it's important to focus on yourself and stay in your own lane. And it says, "And he saw and perceived that their end were evil, and they were multiplied compassions. All flesh he reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again, as a shepherd his flock. He hath mercy on them that receive discipline, and that diligently seek after his judgments."
That's why you're a disciple. Disciple, you have to go by a strict. You have to have a strict teacher, right? Yahushua is a teacher, and also we have the schoolmaster, which is the word as well. So under that, you're a disciple. So you have to be disciplined in this truth. So you can't just do whatever you want as well.
So, like, what discipline would you guys call? What discipline would you call this? There's many disciplines out there, right? There's mechanics. That's a discipline, right? There's welders. That's a discipline. What discipline would this be?
Spiritual.
True. I'm looking for a different word.
It's actually all.
It is all.
You get the whole package, not just spiritual, everything. You have to change your whole life.
So that's he almost gave me the answer. So what would
My
this
bad.
be? No, it's okay. It's all good. It's just a spirit. What do you brothers think this would be? What kind of discipline is this that we're taking upon? This ministry. What are you fighting against the most in this truth?
Yourself.
Besides yourself. Self-discipline. You see what I'm saying? That's why you say you get the whole package. You have to do everything. You have to change your whole life. You got to change what you eat, change how you look at things, all that. So everything how you look, it says, he has mercy on them that receive discipline, right? And that diligently seek after his judgments. His judgments are found in the Word, in the Scriptures. So the only way to discipline yourself is to search out the Scriptures, because they will purge you. This is the baptism, right? And then it says, "My son, blemish not thy goods, not thy good deeds, neither use uncomfortable. So, my son, blemish not thy good deeds. You guys know what that means? What can you come up with? Blemish not your good deeds. Basically, like for example, you know that it's a Sabbath and you can't pop your woman. She comes in the nicest dress, red, your favorite color, everything, your favorite smell, and you know that you've been doing good all week, doing your studies, all that. She comes in, it's a Sabbath.
She comes in